Hi guys, my name is Megan and today I've got some Summerween reading recommendations for you. Alright, so today we're talking all about some Summerween reading recommendations. And for those of you who don't know what Summerween is, it is a chance to celebrate Halloween in the middle of summer. And I believe it got its start from Gravity Falls, which is one of my favorite shows ever, and it's one that you should watch if you haven't already. So I figured I'd share some of my favorite horror-leaning or darker books, so let's go ahead and just dive right in. Alright, so first up is going to be Swamp Thing Twin Branches. This is a really fun graphic novel, and it is an origin story for Swamp Thing, who is a DC villain. It's following twins who are spending the summer with their aunt and uncle because their parents are having some issues, and one of them is very outgoing, wants to be at every party. The other is very much just wanting to work on his summer science project at the local high school with the rest of the science club that's there. This also has some diabetic representation in it, and it's following these twins as this science project just starts going wrong. Things start getting weird and plants start taking over corpses. It's a really interesting graphic novel, and it's one that I would highly recommend, especially if you're looking for something with diabetic representation in it. It's fantastic. Next up I have You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. This is a sapphic horror book. This is following Charity as during the summer she runs a full contact haunted house horror movie experience at a camp on a lake that has been kind of abandoned and was used as the set for this horror movie. And right as the book starts, we're getting to the last weekend that they're going to be open, and things start going weird, and then they start going really wrong. People start disappearing, and there's weird noises coming from the forest, and there's weird people out on the lake. You know, classic horror movie things start happening. It does not go well. This is one of my favorite horror books to date. The audiobook for this is really fantastic. It's also really short, and it's one that I would highly recommend. Next up I have Into the Drowning Deep. This is the book you want to read if you want open water ocean horror. This is following a documentary crew and a science vessel as a whole bunch of scientists go out into the ocean, like one of the most remote places in the ocean, to prove that mermaids are real. They are recreating the footsteps of a previous documentary crew that had gone out to prove mermaids were real, and nobody survived. Nobody came back from that expedition. So this is them recreating that and telling the story of that previous expedition, but also the science and stuff that's going on now to see if that mermaids may be true. And it's about mermaids that will murder you and eat your face. And I loved it, and I never want to step foot on a cruise ship ever. Next up I have Summer Suns. This is one of my favorite books of all time. This is a Southern Gothic, dark academia ghost story. This is following Andrew, who is dealing with the aftermath of his best friend / Moore's death. And it's him going to the college that they had planned to go to together for grad school and meeting his new roommates, but also the ghost is literally haunting the narrative and trying to drag him to hell. And the other ghosts that he can see and falling in love, and the dark academia of trying to figure out what happened to his friend, if he was murdered, if it was suicide, and trying to appease the ghost that is trying to drag him to hell. And fast cars, drugs, everything you could ever want set against a college backdrop is fantastic. And it's one that I would highly recommend. It's honestly one of the best books that I've ever read. It kept me up at night, and it haunted my dreams for months after I finished it. And the last one I'm going to recommend is going to be The Scapegracers. This is one of my favorite queer witchy stories of all time. This is following Sideways, who is a kind of a loner. She does magic, and the popular girl clique hires her to do a magic trick at one of their Halloween parties, and things go wrong, but also Sideways gets a whole bunch of new friends out of it. So basically the mean girl clique adopts Sideways, tries to get her a girlfriend. They form a coven. All of them are super queer, and things start going really wrong, and it's them trying to fight the patriarchy, trying to fight misogynistic witch hunters, thrillers. There's some religious horror thrown in there, and this is one of the queerest books I've ever read, and it's one that I would highly, highly recommend. So those are some of the books I would definitely recommend if you're looking to get some more horror or just some darker books into your summer. What are some books that you guys would recommend for Summerween? Let me know down below. If you guys like this video, don't forget the like button. If you haven't already but would like to, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you'd like to follow me on social media for more bookish stuff, check out the links down below. Alrighty, bye guys.